For those people who have not seen beautiful Nigerian ladies, let them come and see today.
Yes.
Yes.
It is well, thank God.
Okay. Babusha, can you see how it's looking? Did we cash up? I want to cash up very well. You should, no, come on. See, you have to look into the camera, into the YouTube. Okay, who do we have there? Okay, we have Flozy. Welcome, Flozy. Nice to see you. Who else do we have on YouTube? Okay, while we are waiting for the YouTube audience. Okay, we have Doro as well. James. Roma, привет, ты мне говоришь по-русски? Рома Лавал, ты что, кто это? Это русскоязычный человек или африканец? Рома это русское имя, а Лавал это у нас африканское имя. Кто ты? Who are you, Roma? Потому что ты говоришь по-русски. You are writing me in Russian, so I want to know who you are. You are African. Откуда ты знаешь по-русски? How did you know Russian language? Hello, Roma. Okay, I think he's writing me right now. Odessa. Did you grow up in Odessa, or you were born in Odessa, or are you half caste, or you went to school there? Jamaican. Oh, that's Stacey. Okay. Went to uni. Okay, you went to uni. Okay, you went to uni in Odessa. Just like me, I came to uni in Russia. Okay. Well, очень приятно. Спасибо, что познакомились. Okay, Babusha is telling me that we might need to make you come lower a little bit so that they will see all your hair, that your head is too high. Okay, good now, yeah? It's good now, yeah?
Yes.
It's good now. Okay, you were there from 85 to 91. That's about the same time I was there. I was here. I mean, when I was in the university, I'm still here for it. But I came here in 85. I came to Russia in 85. That is 32 years ago. 86. I came 32 years ago in 86. And I finished my master's in 92. So you were my senior by 1 year. But I'm sure you are not a believer at that time. You are not a Christian, I'm sure, because I knew all the Christians who were there that time. So, but thank God we're in the same family of God now. And thank God you remembered your Russia. You didn't lose your Russia. Let me see, are we on Facebook already or not? Okay, we are waiting for to go on Facebook Live. Oh, it's that we are on right now, huh? Let me see. Okay, we're on. So we are on right now.
Okay.
Okay, we have Bumi. Bumi Benro is #1 here on Facebook. Welcome, Bumi. We have Lucky Osage. We have Ifi. Orenuga is here as well. Welcome everyone. Who else is there? BC Ola is here. Now, I'm a Yoruba guy, but I've so much forgotten this language that I'm no more sure. BC Ola, is that a Yoruba name? I know we have Bisola, BC Ola, maybe not Yoruba, maybe it's Benin, Benin, it could be a Benin name. Okay, then we have Gift Amos, we have James, we have Rinde, Benro is here, Yemi is here, Omoba is here, Kenan is here, Benjamin is here, Pat is here. Welcome everyone. Oh, it's like we are frozen on Facebook, eh? Write Kate about it. That there is a problem with Facebook. I think it's frozen. Madobuko is here. I hope it's okay on YouTube. Just get in touch with Kate and let Kate tell us what's happening. Okay. Is it just a YouTube problem? Is just a Facebook problem or is it a YouTube problem as well? It's okay now? Okay. All right. Okay. Now, hello everybody. I'm taking some time for you to admire what is before you more. For you to admire my sister, Mrs. Macrine Haruna. For you to buy Macrine. For you to admire Macrine even the more. You are a mother of five children, right?
4.
4 children.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm very proud of you. But we started to talk with you a little bit, and you said you had a similar background like myself. And how come?
To a great extent, I lost my dad at a very young age. I was in Form 3 in the secondary school, high school. And that was a major blow in my life, you know. I'm the first child, and he had 5 of us then. We're 6, so I lost a sister when she was much younger. So my mom remarried, and it was not a good life at all, so to say. We were practically, you know, thrown away, practically lived on the street, so to say. Thank God for my mother's sisters. She had good sisters, and we eventually were split among them, you know, and grew up like that. When I went to university, you know, when I eat a meal, I would not know when my next meal would come.
Are you serious?
Where it come from.
Are you serious?
Yes, yes. I was in the hospital for 8 months straight due to perforated peptic ulcer, where my intestines were perforated and bleeding. Because I served in Akwa Ibom State in a newspaper mill, but I had to be taken home in an ambulance because they didn't want me to die there in their hands, you know. And I went back home, that's to my mom and my stepfather. And it was just a rough life for me and my younger brother.
You had ulcer because you were not feeding well.
No food, dear say. I wasn't eating. I was living on Coke because, you know, Coke is satisfying. So if I take a bottle of Coke, that fills me up and keeps me, you know, it deceives my tummy that I've eaten. But then also I was just eating me up and ate my intestines. You know,
because it was gas as well. So it was eating up your intestine and...
acidic and all of that, and no food else, you know, to go with it. So it was that bad, you know. But I struggled. I made sure I went through school because I didn't want to because my father, I went to secondary school at the age of 9. He really wanted us to have an education. So he was an accountant, he was a military, and he was he died as a captain in the army. He had been promoted to a major. He had not been decorated before he died in an accident. He was a paymaster in Zirra and then transferred to Mina. We're well off with my mom and dad, but, you know, after he died, everything just went down for us, you know, and my mom remarried and we were practically maltreated. My mom herself was maltreated, you know, and we couldn't take it so much. At some point, my sister had to run away from home. She was living with my mom and my stepdad. She ran away to my mom's elder sister's home. it's been different kinds of things went on with us. My stepfather was a Muslim, so my mother became a Muslim. My stepfather said girls do not go to school, so my sister and I would not go to school. She's here, she lives 1 minute walk from me here in Edinburgh. Women would not go to school. He stopped us to church. We were Catholics then, and if I had known, I would have remained in my Catholic church with all this reign of gospel in Nigeria now. But he stopped us from all of that, and it was really, really terrible for us. But
what was Macrine? What was the pressure on your mom to get married? Why did she need to get married? How many children did she already have?
She had 5 of us. She got married at the age of 13.
Ooh.
She had me at the age of 15. So she was still a very young girl when my father died. And there was a lot of pressure on her to remarry because, in the northern Nigeria, it's not possible or easy for a woman to stay even if she's got big children or so many children without a husband. No. So she was put under pressure to remarry.
How old was she when the husband died?
He died. She would have been in her mid-20 something because she married him at 13. She had me at 15, and my dad died in 84, which I've told my age to the world now, dear. So I think my mom would be 12, 32, about 30, 12, 20, about 30 or less when he died.
So she was quite young, and she didn't have resources. She didn't have income.
Didn't go to school like that, And we were put on Nigeria Army scholarship. My siblings and I were on Nigeria Army scholarship because my father died in active service. He was on an official trip and all of that. But you will not believe it, DSA, because we were on scholarship, but then the money goes into the account she opened, which was also controlled by my stepfather. So he didn't necessarily pay school fees, didn't necessarily use the money for us and all of that. And my mom's sister, her younger sister too, her husband used to be a marketing manager in a big cement company in Nigeria. And he used to monthly give my mom a trailer or 2 of cement, so she can have money to take care of her children. Yeah. But the money was used to build a house for my stepdad in my village. He built a lovely home. It's a come and see home with her money. So the money was there. It was supposed to be for us, but he used it for himself and married so many other wives, and pushed my mom back to the background and forgot about her, and we practically suffered.
But why did she choose to marry a Muslim?
Our kind of Christianity then didn't matter. From where we came from, it doesn't matter what religion you are, because we're just going to church just as church, not really, born again, not really knowing Christ in the heart, not having a personal relationship. So going to Islam is not a big deal at all, And it was someone they thought, okay, can take care of her, can take care of my dad was called Michael, can take care of Michael's children for him and all of that,
Were they friends with you? Were they familiar with your late dad?
Yeah, they knew themselves, and they thought it would be okay, because usually they could say a family member marry her, but no, family members would do that. So my stepfather is from the same local government area, but from a different dialect. So it was okay for them to put them together, and and she married him.
How did you How come you say you got to secondary school so early? Were you so smart or what?
I went to secondary school at the age of 9. I used to come first. I was good in school, but after losing my dad when I went to university, I was no longer an A student. I went back down to C, average, and because I was just struggling. I didn't even want to go for complete school at some point when it got really, really frustrating. But I tried. I finished eventually though. And I was saying why I took this series, because ordinarily I would not have any reason to be confident in myself. I didn't have any, points to hold on to, nothing. I didn't have a father. They didn't really want me to go to school, so I pushed myself through school. It's like, okay, after school, so what next, And at some point I felt like just I just packed my load. I left Adamawa State, left my mom and my stepfather and my siblings, and I relocated to Lagos with my mother's sister. We just left. My stepfather raised dust. Where are you going, Lagos? What are you going to do in Lagos? I was born in Lagos. My siblings and I were all born in Lagos. My father lived in Lagos for so long. Went to Army Children's School in Apapa and then Air Force Primary School in Ikeja. So I'm basically a Lagos child. So I just went back to Lagos. I started staying with my mom's first cousin, and I got a job. From there, from Lagos. I got a job with NTA Abuja. I went to work in NTA. I was doing continuity announcing, but my confidence was still growing then. So I just stay on TV, face people, talking on TV. Like your story, that's why you went to the print part of journalism. I'm a journalist. I read mass comm for my first degree. I read media arts for my master's. And my PhD is in view, but I had to, keep that aside because when I wanted to start, I was pregnant with my last child. So I just put that aside. It was going to be in media and cultural orientation. So I didn't have that kind of courage to just be on TV. And after work, sometimes I get messages from friends. Oh, you did well today. Oh, you represented, especially my hometown people. You presented us well. And all of that. But I still had that shyness and that thing. So I left TV. And job with NAN, News Agency of Nigeria. So I ran back to Lagos again and rented a place, a BQ in Alagbon Towers, and then just started my life. And I said to myself, I will not marry. If marriage is what I saw my mom go through in the hands of my stepfather, I will not be put under any human being, man or whatever. I'll just stay on my own, and that's how I just, started growing up. Confidence was building, and before I knew it, my job was taking me internationally. I sit with heads of governments of nations at international organizations, UN assemblies, international labor organizations. And I found myself, I would interview people, the likes of Mandela and so many others, talk to them one-on-one, shake hands with them. And I'm like, could that be me? But I still was not strong enough. I'll do that for my job, and then go back. And I was doing well, At some point, I was told I was working with a minister then for NAN. I was attached to Labour, Ezekwesili, and her press secretary told me at some point that Madam will not start the assignment if she does not see you there. So you have, sometimes when they call me for like an impromptu thing, I say, oh, nah, you go to my kids and all. So Madam will not start until you come. That was how good I got, and it came from my dad, actually, my reference point, and still growing confidence, but coming in contact with you again. Because another thing here, say, church would have killed me and my confidence. I was sharing with my husband that I did not go to Pentecostal church looking for miracles, no, because I was well off even before I went to a Pentecostal church. When I started work, my job was good. I was going on assignments and getting extra codes in plenty of thousands of pounds and dollars. I was able to buy a house in Festac. I was able to buy a car for my mom, buy a house for my mom, and so I was not looking for miracles going to a Pentecostal church. It was a thirst and a hunger for God, that took there. And the God, because it would have finished me there, wrecked my life, put down confidence because I had to remove my brains and keep and use their own brains to operate, and just growing up now, coming to this point in my life, I may be old in age, but I'm learning so many new things because we're just starting Christianity afresh just now, after encountering this platform, this family, and encountering GSA.
What a story. What a story. Wow. What about the family of your dad?
My dad has got, he's got some step siblings. Well, he has a brother, direct brother. We're not very close. He's in Port Harcourt. His other brother that we're quite close with, we lost him about 7 years ago. And he's got relatives. My dad got a family. My dad's cousin, first cousin, she's a senator in Nigeria now. She stayed with my dad. She practically grew up with my dad. She's a Muslim because my family is divided. My mom's parents, her mom is a Christian. Her mom's siblings are mixed Christians and Muslims. That's how it is where I'm from. Same as my dad's people, So he's got siblings and uncles that are Muslims and all of that. So we've got family members that are, but when we're growing up, we're with my stepfather, so we didn't even find our family members, and they didn't look for us, his own people, because I remember when it was the first time I met my cousin, my dad's cousin, Binta. She's a senator in Nigeria. I was angry at her. I said to her, none of you looked for me or us. You didn't know how we grew up. You didn't know anything about us, and that's not fair to us. It was afterwards they started coming. One of my uncles in Yola, he came, he said, we're really sorry because we didn't really want to interfere in your mother's life and all of that, And that's why we left you people. We thought when you grow up, you would look for us and all will come for you, And we reconciled, we're good with some of them, but a lot of them are still younger ones and they're all there. And we had this Boko Haram thing devastate the village and some of our people, But we're fine, but God helped us, so my siblings and I, we went through so much DSA. Maybe that would be a story for another day, because when I listened to the first teaching of this series, I was crying because I'm like, see where you came from and see where you are today. I was looking you on the internet and I was looking at, you attending the Bill Gates Foundation, Bill Clinton, addressing Israeli Knesset, Japan Parliament, UN, I'm like, God, from this kind of background, I remember I talked about the wounds and everything. When they take you out, you can't go in, you have to leave you out and all of that. Like, look at where you are. Nobody has an excuse, DSC. I don't have an excuse. I took this series. And I've said, my children, I told everybody, we listen to this series because everybody has to develop self-confidence. We don't want to be too churchy and say, it has to be our confidence in God. Who would have thought so? But coming in contact with all of the things we're reading now, and this series in particular, I know that I'm supposed to be the 2 spies and not the 10 spies that says we're too small. I want to be those 2 that were well able. Yeah.
What I'm thinking right now is that it's just I and you are just the lucky ones. Our country is full of people who are having ulcer because they cannot eat.
Yes.
Because there's no food.
Yes.
Our country is full of people like me who don't have shoes or socks or slippers or anything to wear. And these people are the majority.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm going to give everything for you. You wait. By the time I get to Nigeria, I don't care what the government has done, what has not done. God is going to remember these people through us. And it's not a prayer, because before, when people like me, when we were growing up in Nigeria, our concern was personal survival.
That's true.
But right now, I've understood God now enough to know that God is not just concerned about individual personal survival. He wants to make each one of us a deliverer. To help other people not just survive, but to have life. So my next life that I'm going to live is going to be dedicated to making sure that we get every one of our people out of that dungeon of hopelessness.
Yes, sir.
And but why this topic? Why this particular series? Why did you pick this? I'm sure you have listened to other series as well.
Oh yeah, almost every series on YouTube. My husband doesn't let me sleep at night. He plays through the night. So we've listened to practically everything you have talked about. We listen to the Kingdom series, even when we're on the way. We put it, we record it on our phone, so we don't even use mobile data when we're driving or when we're and everything. But this topic, when I saw self-confidence, I wanted to do thinking series because I sit down to think a lot. I like to think. But before, I usually would think negative, back to, I was sickly. I grew up, I told you about the ulcer. I had asthma. And nobody knew Macrine would be able to have children, would bear children today. If you talk with my family members in Nigeria, I have a particular aunt in Abuja. When I had my first son, I went back to Nigeria after I had him. She came to see me. She was crying. She said, my local name is Kuva. She said, Kuva, is this you? She was crying. She said, I never knew, because she was, when I ran to Lagos, it was her place, her first stint. Her husband is my mother's first cousin. She was always taking me to the hospital. Yes, once I enter kitchen, I'm the hospital. Once onions is fried, I'm going to the hospital. Asthma. I was sickly. There was a time my office people came to pray for me in the hospital, and when they ended the prayer, instead of sharing the, one of my bosses just said, "May I so rest in peace." As in, he thought, he had forgotten that he was not praying for a dead person. That was how bad my case was, But I'm not supposed to be where I am today. I have no reason. I have every reason not to come out. I have every reason to just lie back and just live life and exist, survive till I die. Because there was no reason to make it, no father figure and all of that. So, but when I listened to this series, when I started the first series, I didn't want to go on. When I listened to the first one, I didn't want to go on. I had to stop at some point.
Where were you? Where were you when you were listening?
Sir?
Where, at what point? Where were you that particular?
When you were talking about growing up in the
yes, where were you listening to it? Were you listening? You said
I was listening. The first one I started listening to was in the room at night. Usually, I start when the kids are gone to bed, and then I take my time. That's my own covenant. We all do covenant time in this house. So my own time, I listen to these messages, and it's about the same time we do my husband listen to them. But my husband sometimes goes to the living room and listens through the night, take notes, or read, because if he takes a book, he reads the book completely before he stops to do it, before he starts doing any other thing. So he finishes his books every night, and then he does the same thing with the messages. But when I got to that point of, when you mentioned, your grandma called, when people will be jeering and talking, she'll be like, Olorunwa, there is God, he'll fight for you and all of that. I had to pause message, and I was crying. I was like, someone can go through this, and the person had every excuse not to move in life, and nobody blame you. Everybody would be like, oh, of course it's got the reason that, I continue. I remember one particular aspect when, some things were sent for you people from abroad, the tie, when you saw the long cloth, didn't know what it was meant for, okay, it's strong enough, started tying fire and all of that. Some are, they're funny inside my tears. I'm crying and I'm laughing at some points. I'm like, this kind of human being, there was pity coming out from me. And then I look at you on air, the confidence, fighting these great battles that the fight should have come up and should have started since. You have started for a while, but we didn't know you. So it's like it's now that I'm coming in contact with it, and I went on, and when I finished the first series, and the team with you, the family with you will come up and talk. I remember, I think it was Dr. Kiru. She said she thought she was coming from a poor background, no poverty, but when she heard the whole story, she knew that how it was nothing. She said when she saw the picture, because we can't see the picture, but she said again, tears were really streaming out down my face, and I'm like, God. And is it possible that it's the same person? And you mentioned that further down in the series that there are people today that don't even believe that it's you, and I don't blame them, because it's really not easy for that man, Olorunwa from Idomila, to be here today in Ukraine. That's like, so I looked at all the photos. I like Walker, Texas Rangers a lot, and I saw you with Chuck Norris. I'm like, oh, this is one of the people I want to meet. I look at all the people you sat down with, talked with, and like, and the awards you've gotten, you've received. William Seymour is one person I respect as man of God in the old days, and I'm like, this is somebody worth attention to. And I finished this series. I made my own list of my reference points, and today I sent a message to my schoolmates, my secondary schoolmates, because connected after 30 years, we're together as a family again on WhatsApp, on Facebook, and all of that. So I said to them, I'll be live today because they're one of my reference points, because you mentioned school, classmates, and all of that, and it's just like me, DSA. So it's just something I will do over and over again.
How helpful was that series to you personally? Bearing in mind the fact that it's a similar story to yours.
Yes, sir. it has made me know that, like I said, I've got no excuse, you know. Even now, I'm just starting, like I said, you know, now I've pushed further because of this thing, you know, this series and many others and the books, you know, to start afresh in life, you know, to know God afresh. I read Kingdom Driven Life. Start to know God afresh, you know, detox myself from every other thing that I've learned, because I left Catholic Church, I went into Pentecostal. I tried, I learned some things, but I learned a lot of things wrongly. You know, and I look at the series and I know that there's so much more, you know, to go, even for you, because I know that you had said at some point, you know, that you know, it's the truth that you know. The Bible says you shall know the truth and it shall set you free. But so it's the truth that you know. So in this series, you know, it's something that will make you know that, yes, you're not the only one that's gone through so much. In fact, you may think you have a story. When you read other people's zone, you have not. You don't have an excuse. This is challenging, and I want everyone that this platform that is listening today, if you suffer from any kind of confidence, you know, if your confidence has been battered, whether by family, by upbringing, by, you know, even by the church, because that is the new one. When I had one caller yesterday that was a student at Christ Embassy raided that, you know, she would not even have money to do her assignments on internet because she used it to pay and all of that, you know, church battered you and all of that, but you can always arise. The DSA came from, you need to all, is series 15 DSA on Sunday Adelaja official on YouTube. It's just 6 videos, but it's the 6 videos that you listen over and over. We've listened to it so many times. I was telling Babusha today, I don't know how many times, and each time I listen to this series is like I've not listened to it before, you know. There's so much to learn from it. There's so much to pick from it. And it has given me more strength and more confidence to start new things. You know, I've started a talk show now because I've built confidence. I thought I had it. I did not. And now I'm collecting videos. I've done some interviews. I want to have a number of videos before I launch out on YouTube and Facebook and all of that. You know, even today I called the senatorial aspirant. My husband was speaking with him. I said, I'm going to interview him on my show and all of that. I've just become, boldness has come in. You know, looking at you every day, you face this giant so-called end of faith in Nigeria and in the world. And, you know, tell the wrong practices and all of that. You know, coming from that kind of background, you shouldn't be able to face them. Shouldn't be able to stand up to them. But here you are, daring everything, DSC. This is not a small thing. I don't even know how to put it, but I think anyone that listens to this, you know, you will climb, you will go on top, you will be high in this life. You surely make it. If you listen to this kind of person, and from where he came from and where he is today, I was writing a list of all the things I read about DSA, the achievements, the honors, including the Orange Revolution. I'm like, oh my God, you go to a strange land. You are the Esther in Persia, you are the Daniel in the Babylon, you're the Joseph, you're an outsider, a foreigner. There's no reason to even make it there, DSA. But here you are today, sir. I don't know, honestly. It's just...
It's good that you are writing down. It's good that you are writing down those achievements, because I don't even have time to write them down. Maybe somebody will compile the list, because I don't even remember. There are too many things to remember. Anyway, well, you got saved when you got to Lagos, right?
Yes, sir.
So for how long were you in these our charismatic Pentecostal churches?
Right. In 1995, I got born again in a good place. It's called CRM, Charismatic Renewal Ministries. I encountered this lovely woman in my office in Nan.
Charismatic Renewal Ministry. Who is the head?
It's a breakout from the Catholic Church. I can't remember the man.
Oh yeah. It's like Catholic Charismatic.
Yes, sir. But then they were excommunicated, sent out because believing in Holy Ghost baptism.
But they were good, right?
They were good. I think they are still okay. Yes, because all my saints CRM, I never heard about tithe and offering, honestly.
Yes,
Apart from just
they were really good, yeah.
yes, sir. Apart from normal, just passing offering basket, you're not under obligation. There was nothing like that. I don't know what sent me away from DSA to look for a bigger Pentecostal church. I would have not come. Like I told you, I wasn't looking for miracles or quick fix, all of that, because I got personal encounters with Christ. DSA, there was a day I've always had a longing to pray. I love to pray. I want to pray, and I was saying, God, teach me how to pray. I came back from work. I was living in Festac. I was working in NAN. My office was at National Theatre. I came back from work one evening. My aunt was living with me, and my younger brother was doing his NYC, and my cousin. So we're four in the house. And everybody was out. I drive then, so I usually get back home early. So I was at home. I just got home, and I saw this book on my prayer altar. It's my 3-seater cane chair, so I kneel to pray. And I saw this book on it. It says, the title is Lord, teach me to pray. And it's got a picture of a hand like that, And I took that book and I read it, how to pray. And when they came back from work, I asked my aunt, she was working in NTA2 in VA. I asked her, is this your book? No. My brother came back and my cousin. They didn't know the book. It wasn't theirs. My next door neighbor, flat 4, I was in flat 5, they're Muslims, they're Mina. The next neighbor, flat 3, they're Catholics. None of them owned the book. The next day, I went to work with that book. I called the woman that led me to Christ, my aunt. She's so lovely. And we pray in her office every morning. We call her office Zion before we start our day. I took it to Zion. I showed it to them. And nobody knew that book. I came back home after work. I kept the book, and that book disappeared. The way it came, we never saw that book again.
Wow.
Yes, that was one encounter in my life that shocked me. Again, I used to start going to Dubai to do business, to go buy jewelry, clothes, shoes, perfumes, and all kinds of things.
While you are still a journalist?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I run from the office, take a day or 2 days, and run to Dubai, buy my things, go back to because the civil service salary was not enough for me. I had my siblings, my mom to take care of. I had responsibilities, so I added the business to it.
This was before your marriage.
Before my marriage, sir.
Okay.
This particular week, I'd taken 1 week from office to go to Dubai. I bought my tickets. It's KLM Kenya, because Kenya Airways, I think they have this alliance, or KLM had bought them over. So my ticket was KLM. We're flying on that Kenya Airways KLM to Dubai. And I had a dream, an encounter of a plane crash. The plane crashed in Abidjan, along the ocean, and there were 10 survivors in that crash, and I was one of the survivors in that crash. So when I got out of that dream,
wow,
in a dream, so I went to church that Sunday. I didn't travel. I was supposed to travel. I can't remember the day of the week now, but I'd taken 1 week off work. But when I had that account, I think it was a Thursday or Friday, I took it to church on Sunday. So after church, I shared it with my spiritual mother, Maton, and went to see our pastor, and we prayed and all of that, and they said I'll be fine to travel. I said, no, I am not going. DSA, that plane crashed the way it happened in my dream in reality. At Abidjan, along the coast, there were 10 survivors, like I saw in my, everything I saw in my encounter happened. So my office, my colleagues in the office, there was no GSM, no mobile phones then, and I didn't have a landline in my house. But I have a cousin that lived in Festac, who my office people had her phone number. Everybody was calling because they expected that was the day I was supposed to travel. That was the plane I was supposed to be on. And they were all calling to find out if I was in it or something. So I get a lot of supernatural encounters with God. If I can't list them, because I'm compiling a book on that, on my encounters, and one of the encounters.
I think that you have to do a book, and that book I'm feeling right now that is going to be a book for generations. And the impact of that book will come third generation after you. And it's going to go even further from there to deeper generations till Jesus comes. So please take that book very serious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One of the other encounters, all these I'm listing because before I went to Pentecostal church, just to show that I didn't go there for anything but to seek God, and they cheated. My younger sister was terribly ill at some point. She was in school in the university in Maiduguri, but I asked them to send her to me to Lagos, so I could take her to some good hospitals. And she came to me. I took her to some hospitals, and they couldn't diagnose what was wrong with my sister. My sister starts coughing. Now she could cough for the next 1 hour without pausing. She will only catch the breath and continue coughing. I will cry. Sometimes I'll hide myself to cry, and I'm like, God, do you want to take this girl? And I got born again not too long ago. I said, I thought all those promises in the Bible are meant for us all. So why would you want to punish me? Like in this series, I tell you, I keep referring to this series, when your grandma died, it was like God was wicked to you and all of that. This is the time to build grandma a house. This is the time to say thank you, and then she died. So I'm like, God, my dad is late. Do you want to take my sister? I was always praying. I will kneel down by my altar, my three-seater cage chair, cry. Sometimes I take her with me to work. Sometimes my aunt to take her to her own office at NTA. At some point, my editor-in-chief said to me, Macrine, you know what? Take some time off work, because I was not concentrating. Usually we have our editor meetings in the morning, arrange our diary for our activities for the day. I will be in the news editorial room, and they'll say, Macrine, what do you have to say? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just not there. I was there, but physically only. My mind, everything was not there. I was thinking of my sister. I would die. Every time I went back home, if she was at home, I would drive the house. I would park by the block. I was living in block B. I would park by block A. I would stretch my neck out of my glass, my driver's seat, to see if people are gathered in front of my flat, whether my sister had died or something. That was how bad my sister was sick. I took her they tell me to go to one foundation, Belgian something foundation for TB, leprosy control. I would drive my sister, and I would go to Ore to meet some expatriates that were doing something, medical things, drive to Ibadan, only two of us in the car without the danger on the roads and all of that. Test that, did all kinds of things, remove skin from her to test for. That was the first time about HIV and hepatitis. I never heard them before. So they carried out all kinds of tests in this world. At some point, they now diagnosed one fungal growth on her lungs, and they prescribed antibiotic that cost us 4,500 naira for 2 days though. She was going to take it for 2 weeks. At some point, so we ran from pillar to post. I asked someone in my office to sell my car, one of my senior colleagues. I was just looking for money desperately. And this particular night, she went with my aunt to. I usually will come back before them. So I got home that evening, and I knelt down. I just said, God, is it that you want to take this girl from me or what? And I was just like accusing God, and I came back, I realized that was not how to pray. I was not doing right, and I started asking God for mercy. I began to cry. I said, I've gone off points. That I've really sinned against God, or probably against the Holy Spirit. I would like to forgive it. I started crying, and before I knew it, I went into an encounter. I don't know if it was a trance or vision, but I was on my knees. I saw this tall figure, in glowing white, endless height, held me on my right hand and said, come with me. And I said, where are we going? And I'm going to show you my Mercy Street. So we're walking for so long, I got tired, and I said, is this Mercy Street? He said, we have not in one bit of Mercy Street, and it's so many. It's got healing, it's got health, it's got goodness, it's got peace, it's got all of that. So I should not think that I've not received his mercy. And I said, thank you, and I'm tired. And he turned around, we turned back, and he held me this time on my left hand and took me back home, took me back to my living room, and left me on my knees by my three-seater cane chair. And I opened my eyes, and I was like, ooh, what was that? DSA, my sister came back that evening with my aunt. My sister coughed again till today. After that encounter, that mercy, I encountered the mercy of God in that encounter. And you know what? I took her to office the next day because I told you my editor-in-chief gave me time off work. So I wasn't going to work. I just went to work the next day with my sister. And Macrine, her name is Amma. Amma, oh, how are you? How are you? Everybody was waiting for Amma to cough. Amma did not cough. And what happened? You know, the first thing somebody asked me, did you take her to Pastor Chris healing school? And I said, is there a healing school you didn't tell me about since before now, you know? And that was how, you know, so God give me personal encounters. So many say, if I'm applying for visa for a country, a lot of times I'll see the page where my visa will be pasted. I'll tell my husband that this is the page. I remember I went to do American visa many years ago in Nigeria. I told him this, I saw a page of your own visa. And I told him that morning we went, and it was exactly on that page. We were not even asked any question. They just said, enjoy your trip. You know, so kind of things, it's easy for God to show me, to deal with me by himself. So what took me to these people, dare say, I do not know.
Because it was the wave. I think it was the wave in Nigeria at that time.
That's true.
You know, most people were going to these kind of churches.
That's
I think
true.
it became the in thing. And the smaller churches were all closing down, going to the big ones. How old was your sister when that was going, you know, happening to her?
My sister will be 18. I'm just trying to count.
That point, was she in secondary school or she had finished secondary school?
She was in the university. Maybe she was a teenager.
So she would be like 19 years?
About there, yeah, 19.
Where is she now?
She's in Edinburgh. DSA, she's a master's holder from here. She's into public health. She works with the NHS. She's a mother of 3 lovely kids now. Her husband is a great man of God. We've all left Winners. He was a pastor for 5 years. He was our resident pastor here, but we've all moved ourselves. Thank God for that. God has really opened us up.
But
the lives you have affected.
But normally it's difficult for the pastors to leave. How did he get his strength? How did he get his strength to do it?
Okay, persecution, because we left and my sister was liking posts on Facebook. My husband's post when he posts all of these your things on Facebook or photos, you know, and all of that. Started accusing us of being part of Adelaja and all of that, you know, and all of those things, you know. Of course, you want to stay under that kind of system again. You have heard everything, and then you're able to still enjoy because they were fine, you know. And they start accusing them of all kinds of things. So they just quietly, joyfully, and everybody's at peace now. And I said to my husband, where has DSA been since? Where has it been? You know? And we met it through my sister anyway. She was to send me the message on Messenger, you know, on Adeboye. But our first reaction was anger. I think Haruna told you that. It was anger. Why would you go on air, you know, talking about Manoga? We see how that's Pharisees cap on our heads, you know. And when our eyes open, DSA, God is a revolution for us, you know. And now you can read the lives. You watch these videos that before were okay. I used to go to Redemption Camp a lot. I'll start going to Redemption Camp for Holy Ghost service. 2 p.m. I will arrive at 10 p.m. 11 p.m., you know, through Lagos traffic and all of that. Suffering myself, you know, for these people, for them to teach me about Christ. You know, I learned myself, I studied myself, but I still wanted more. And I thought they were older, bigger, you know, and they were pastors. And I read in the Bible, it says you give us pastors after our heart. So it's not wrong for one to be tutored, you know. And a pastor is a shepherd, but they raped the gospel.
How long were you in, is it Winners you went to?
Yes, sir. After I left CRM, I've been going to Winners since well over 25 years now. While I was in my 20s, late 20s, I've been going to Winners. You know, I've worked in various capacities and held various positions at our local church levels and all of that.
So you had your job?
Yes, sir.
And then you are going to church and having some occupation there or what? Or ministry or what?
You know, when you're in church, they'll still give you responsibilities, you know, and we had those things going, home cell, heading home cell. I was a matron of the youth ministry in my local Living Faith Durumi 3. I was the financial secretary of my district. I held some positions like that, and I thought that was serving God. I was just working and tired, and I was walking, W-A-L-K. I mean, working, W-O-R-K, for God. I wasn't working with him because there was no deep, that thing that took me there, like it was, I didn't think people were the bigger churches here, but we're also going there, wanted to worship God, wanted to know how to worship more and more, but it didn't work out. We just there, we started doing church as religion, we're fulfilling all righteousness, we go to church so that they will not say we didn't come, so that they will not phone us.
So did you ever suspect that something was wrong with the form of Christianity that you people were practicing in Nigeria before you came across, or you never suspected?
DSA, I'll be honest with you. I had some reservations, but they are so insignificant that I could go on with this if I had not encountered you without really, raising an eyebrow. I would have gone on.
Which means you
were
just a committed person.
I was committed. We're committed physically, financially. We have sown the kind of seed that, my husband would say, they should pay us back. We have sown kind of seeds that, that type that they'll tell you that is sacrifice that must touch you. Oh God. We have been very committed. But, thank God, my sister, a lot of times she'll tell me, share some things. I'll be like, okay, is this okay? Is it okay? Well, it comes from man of God, so it's fine, and we went on like that. But my husband had read church sheet, I think it was 8 years ago or 7 years ago 9 years ago, he read church sheets. That was the first time he encountered you. He's still on my bookshelf in Nigeria. And so when we heard Sunday Adelaja, he even makes reference. Once in a while, we talk about that church in Ukraine, one of the largest church in Ukraine, owned by, led by a black man and African and all of that, and the members are, are all white and all of that, and I would sit, my husband and I would sit and talk, we'll go out for evangelism here. We really wanted the white people to come to our church here to win us, why are they not coming and all of that, and because when the white man wants to seek God, he's not looking for God because he's got medical care is fine, roads are there, transport system is not hungry, so there's nothing. He really wants God. So if he's not coming, you don't have anything if to him. That's it. So when we say we're international, we're just local village church located internationally because it's still us in the church. There's no Igbo man there. Then look at you, look at the church. My husband first started agreeing with you after he phoned you and the encounter with you, and then he went back, and that was when he started, and he never came back. Then when he called me in, I was like, no, please, but I sat down and I said, look at what this man is saying, what my husband was saying about Sunday Adelaja. And we listened to 2 videos, and that was it. I'm like, no, I'm done. This is not true. They've cheated me. I'm like, so could this be, how did God open your eyes to see these fallacies, How did you know all of these things? I was saying to him, how you, DSA, could read between the lines, could these things that we've been in it since you're not in Nigeria, what concerns you with that? But you're the one that picks these things out for us. And then we now start seeing that the free zone again in Nigeria and all of that. I'm like, oh God, thank you, and we've not turned back since then. And we're sharing as much as we can because people must be liberated, DSA. We have come to the point where it is by force now for people to be liberated. It is force. Because if we don't, plague of silence, if we don't give, because I always say, if we don't do our own part, then we have no business commenting when we're watching live videos. This man of God. No, we have nothing to say because you what are you doing about it? So we've come to the point where this is where we are now, where there must be a change, DSC, and we are working. We are working.
Now, that your sister that sent you that link, she only sent you to have a look, but she had not been convinced that time. She didn't say it. Why did she send it to you that, who is this silly man talking about the man of God, right?
My sister wasn't really like me. She analyzes things. She has her questions from church for long. Honestly, yes, I can say that boldly. I hope she likes that. she always questions a lot of things. She doesn't just take it, whether it's from bishop or whoever,
That's good.
So when she said, yeah, and when she said that, she just sent it for us to see what's going on, especially at Adeboye. That's talking about Psalm 41, when Adeboye said, when you give to God, he circumnavigated from where God said, when you give to the poor, he that considereth the poor. He now rewrote that scripture and saying that gives to God. Which part? That was what made my sister send it to me. She said, see that the Geo, see what Bible says, see what this man said. Her comment, and that's when we looked at it. But I still say, but still now, he's a big man of God. He could call them, he can fund that the Geo now. Why not? Instead of, But now, DSA, I also want to go on social media like you and announce them. Oh, I'm done protecting anybody. No more.
But because we are not dealing with personal lives. We are not dealing with them as individuals.
No,
we are dealing with the errors in the body of Christ.
Fallacies, heresies. And the Bible permits us to rebuke anything doctrinal.
Yes.
I've seen it in Galatians 2. Peter was rebuked openly before them by Paul.
Yes.
God would have removed that from the Bible, so we don't see it as and refer to it. And also, we learned another thing from you in 1 Corinthians, I think, where he says that God will judge the outsiders, but we will judge those in the church.
Yes.
So we have a right to judge. We are not judging them because they didn't go to the market, they didn't cook this soup, or they didn't wear this dress, or they follow girlfriend. That's not my business.
Yes.
But when it's doctrinal, when it is what will impact on my own children tomorrow, and the generation, like I told you, you've said it, where we come from, those people that are hungry, DSA, back in Nigeria. I heard from Adelaja reporters that we've got 17 million orphans in Nigeria. Yes, I'm a product of, in Nigeria, we say Wahala. That made us, my younger brother in Nigeria, he goes out to do evangelism time to time. He collects books, pencils, clothes, food stuff, even kerosene in bottles, and goes to villages, to share for people. Because he knows the need. We do that in Nigeria. We take clothes, we take things to the villages in Abuja. There are a lot of villages in that Abuja. There are a lot of poverty around. Even when I live in an estate, but right around the estate, you see the kind of things that make you weep. And all of these people, if not all, DSA, most are church people. Most of them are church people, but they are the poorest, they are the most hungry, they are the ones that are sick. In this country, I see old people, they are not dying, they die very old, they are not paying tithes, they are not even going to church, but they don't die. We are the ones praying, fasting on top of mountain, on top of Kilimanjaro, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, and we die. We die of sickness. Malaria is still killing people in Nigeria. HIV is still killing people. Why? And then it's these people that are not paying tithes and dues are going to fight malaria. And the church is there. What is their role?
Macrine.
Prove to me. Yes, sir.
I don't know if you saw the program I had yesterday with Dagnet.
I did. I watched it.
Okay. Dagnet is doing a great job and God is using her. Now,
I've been following her.
If you don't do something similar, God will ask of you.
Yes, sir.
Because you've got education.
Yeah.
You are a friend of God. You know God.
Yes,
That's
sir.
number 2. Number 3, you are extremely intelligent.
Thank God.
Yes. Number 4, you have the look. Yes. Yes. And you have everything. And number 5, you are bold. You don't have the fear. You have lost that fear factor. God has helped you to deal with the confidence issue. Then number 6, you have experienced the pain and the sorrow and the tragedy of our people, of our land.
Yes, sir.
Number 7, you've been through them. You've been through the system. You've been among them. You can even do better than I'm doing because I've never been among them. I don't know their doctrines. I just hear. I just pick it up from what people say.
Yes,
so I say if you don't begin to go a wire everywhere, that God is going to ask from you.
I've learned from you, sir, and I will. I've learned from you. That's what amazes me about you, DSA. You've not been in the system. And my husband was saying something to me. He said, the scholarship you got to go to Ukraine was not just to go and study. God needed to remove you to your own Arabia. Like Paul, 14 years in Arabia. God needed to take you there. Because if you had been in Nigeria, DSA, you would have been like...
Yes, I won't have any alternative.
No, sir. So that is why you are a divine assignment to us, to this generation. It was for a purpose. And it's now that I'm seeing, and I believe that even if you did not know, you may have thought, okay, you went to school, and looking at your reference point, your uncle that went abroad and all of that was one of your own springboard, so I would be so one day, but it wasn't for you, sir. It was for me and for us. It was for us all, including my children, because my children now are part of this movement. They've read more books than I've read. And I was saying to Babusha earlier, you should start doing review with kids, because my children will review your books page by page, not just chapter by chapter.
Wow.
If you don't want to stand behind me now and say, tell me about latent energy or your net worth or who am I, they will start telling you have to send them away. That's okay.
Macrine.
What? Stop talking for me.
Macrine, I'm obedient.
Yes, sir.
I'm obedient. So I'm giving the job right now to my assistant here. Please fix it down. And make sure that we begin to have all those children one by one. Each book will be taken up. Yes, I'm obedient, and I'm a man of action. You will not need to tell me the second time.
I didn't mean that like literally. Well, I was saying, seeing that your uncle as a springboard, you too, you will come abroad, but it was not for you, DSA. It's for another generation. It's for this generation. It's not just for you, your wife, your children. It's for all of us. And when I connect everyday life and I see the comments and all of that, I'm like, God, I always think that we've not gone far, but DSA, we have gone far. When I hear that, I know we have gone far in this movement. And again, when I see some of our posts, some people, they post on their timelines, I know that we've also far. So you were sent for such a time as this, like Mordecai said to Esther, for such a time as this, they could, take you away to Arabia. I call it your own Arabia, and set you up there. And you've not been in that system. We that were there didn't even see these things. You that is back then in the comfort of, everything work, potholes probably and all of that, and then you pick these fallacies, these errors, and helping us now. So when another person is like, why is this one saying, talking about these people on air and all of that, don't blame their ones. So, but they will also return, they will come back home to your tent, Israel. There will be time we'll be gathered back. Again, another thing, listening to this series and all of that, I said, you're my mother than Gideon, Gideon harnessed like 10,000 people to go and fight the Midianites. God said, no, there are too many. I don't want anybody to take the glory. He started reducing them till there were 300, So that's why I said the work has started, because already one man Gideon, and then all of these people on the platform, the team you have, all those attendees, they are sufficient, DSA. If you add plus us that are on this platform that connect offline, it's settled. Even if no one else comes on board, honestly, DSA, it is sufficient. But I know that God willing, so many more are being related daily, daily. And it will not stop. And somebody was saying to my husband, please, this fire must not die. It must not die, because it has reached a peak now. People are shaking. The churches are shaking. They are all in Nigeria, they are shaking. They phone us when they phone. Some are afraid because they have instilled fear. That is why I still refer to self-confidence, because they will kill your confidence. They will tell you that leave God, is God that will fight you, it's God that will... No, sir. It's God, it is you. You must rise. You must come out of this thing. You must say no to the rape of the gospel. If not, when we get in front of God and He says, why did you continue in that when you knew that was wrong? What will we say? And I just keep saying, like my mother was saying, thank God we encountered you. Like, if we had found all of these things out in heaven, how will it be? We'll be sacked. Because we'll be in the boys' quarters in heaven instead of in the forefront, So,
Macrine, you just make the statement now that they will put down people's confidence.
oh, yes.
Now, maybe because one of my dreams, you see, I'm writing so many books and doing so many series, and one of my dreams and aspiration and hope is that we'll find individuals who will take up those series or books or topics and expand on them and expatiate them and make them to keep on going to help other people. So I think since this topic of confidence has ministered to you, maybe you shouldn't just abandon it and take it to yourself alone. Maybe you could use it to strengthen, like the Bible says, now strengthen your brethren. Maybe you could use it to strengthen all those people that might be still in churches or are coming out. Maybe that, but God will use you to, even when you start your own program, to actually emphasize the need for them to be bold and stand for righteousness and stand for what is true.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's true. That's true, because God can use anybody. I remember how you came out of panic attack into self-confidence, the Arab guy. I agree with you, dear. Say God can use me to. I said to my husband, when I was reading No One Is Better Than You, and I said to him, I can do a series. I can be talking on Facebook Live or something, sharing this, because everybody I come across, I'm telling them things about the book, I was sharing with a friend about Wole you can read it in the book, in No One Is Better Than You. And Elon Musk, the South African that is in America now, the Tesla man.
Elon Musk,
yes. And I'm like, I can't keep it but I'm just talking about it. So I was saying to you, maybe I should start even if it's one person that listens to me on YouTube or Facebook and likes it and uses that, it's good enough. It mustn't be because, like we learned before, God does not necessarily bless crowds. He picks so if it's one person that gets something from it, since it's not everybody that is reading the books just now or have encountered it, but when you sit with people, when you sit and share it, when I read Regaining Your Lost Years, I put it on my Facebook profile for long, and I cancelled I put Macrine's Lost Years because I need to regain mine. So I said I'll be sharing the things people need to know, DSA, because these books are revolutionary. They are what they call a 360 turnaround for anybody's life that comes in contact with them, And I'm glad that even my children are reading this book, because when they teach me, my daughter was telling me, how to gently start being a workaholic, and she told me, stop working for Uncle Sam, and use an illustration that is like an orange, you squeeze out every and it's sharp leather back, and then just chuck you in the bucket, so they'll gray your hair, turn you old, and then you retire, you wasted your life for Uncle Sam, and I'm like, yeah. So I agree with you, dear. I should go and ship, because if God used that man, he didn't use deliverance service to deliver you from lack of self-confidence. He didn't use prayer and fasting. He didn't use one big man of God, or even a small man of God for that matter. But he used a man that did not even know to turn your life around. DSA, you remind me of the donkey of Balaam. So anything God can use, it doesn't matter to God, honestly. That's why he says he can raise stones to praise him if we don't. So I agree with you, DSA. I crave your prayers for confidence and strength and more courage to be able to go out like you. But then if I don't do it, then you should flog me. I've not been schooled enough. You have done well for us. And listening to the series, when you are going to give the fourth level, and you said to them, you don't know whether you should give that or not. And they said, they said, okay, you should come and prove why you should share that. And from when we were talking, I took that as well. That means, there's so much to learn from you. And when we learn from you, we're supposed to go and teach, go and share, go and contribute. The Bible says we should scatter. There is he that scattereth, and increase it. So we need to go and scatter. You have given yourself, DSA. You've given this one. You've given so much. You've given so much, and I don't know the books. One of the achievements, I think about 500 books in your kitty, and I'm like, God, I've only read, I think, 7 fully, touched on so many others because I've read pinches of some. And 500, I'm like, which day will I arrive at that, point of finishing them? But then one of your series is Life is Predictable, so I can decide, I can predict. So, Macrine, shout, because you have been schooled by different kind of teacher, different from what I've ever grown to know. Yes.
Wow. So you are in Winners Chapel for 25 years?
Oh, yes, sir.
How will you compare, or maybe I should say it differently. What will you say are the things that must change? Because that church that you attended is an epitome of what is wrong with Nigerian church. So there are some things that are okay there, but it capitalizes most of the things that are wrong. So what will you say are the things that must change in the Nigerian church for the church in Nigeria, for Christianity to return to Nigeria? And from all these teachings that you've been hearing, what must change and what are the things we must bring in?
Number one, DSA. Before I left Winners, we go to church every day, in some cases twice a day. We do morning prayers, and that one is to just come to go on. Then in the evenings, the church to pray for souls every day. And when I say every day, DSA, that is Monday, Tuesday, then there's midweek service on Wednesday, there's crazy. Thursday, and there's Friday.
I didn't know it's as bad as that.
Yes. It's in phases. It's not like all year round. It's in phases. So when we're doing those projects, we do it so. Here, we don't necessarily go for the morning one. We just connect online. And I said, God, I've lost so many hours of sleep, just connecting to be part of it. And my husband, when he's in Nigeria, he doesn't miss that because in Nigeria, it's easy to wake up and just go to church. And the children are here, so no worries of we are living at home and all of that. That is one thing church does to us, takes us away from going to develop ourselves. You're in church every day. When will you go and work? If you've read books now, when will you go and put into practice what you have read? Then the few hours we should change government, yes. As a government worker now, you can leave the office 4 o'clock, the work has not closed, so you can run to church. And then we're complaining about the economy and the government. One caller yesterday said, so whose fault? Is this the fault of the government? It's not. So church must come to the realization that, or should come to a point where it should help to develop people and not take away the talents, the skills inside of us. And only use us, our skills to use, but if you're good in technical, go and be doing, set up the projector, all of that. That all should be useful. They should send us, when I read those books, converting your time, you use you go and do something with yourself. And that is when I came to the realization that if I attend church and I heard it in one of the teachings and I'm not benefiting from the church, I have no business sitting down there, even if it is Sunday morning. I know that my religious friends, people with religious minds and massive hearts, religious caps, will want to shoot me for that, but that is the truth. You don't tie people's destinies down. And then again, they must allow us to ask questions. When we phone these programs, when you finish teaching, open the lines, we're free to ask questions. Which man, God in Nigeria, sorry, they say for banging the table, will let you question, not even at Bible study level. Even Bible study level is already an outline that they have put together. You just come and read it and go. So how do you develop differently? And you don't have enough time to even go and develop yourself by yourself, because after you have come back from church in the evening, you're going to do homework with your children. You're going to cook. You're going to prepare for tomorrow. And then you're tired. You want to pray haphazardly and then go to bed. Before you know it, they land up. It's time to get up again. So at what point? That should go. That should go. DSA, the father, the mother, the grandfather of all, is the prostitution of our finances by the church. The lies we've been told, just take money from us. Ordinarily, Nigerian Christians, will make sure they promote the gospel of Jesus. We'll promote the church. We'll encourage the church to grow. We'll give. We are givers. Nigerians love to give as well, just like we love to spend. I was in a shop one time in Geneva, and I bought a bracelet for 550 Swiss francs. Then the man said, "Are you from Nigeria?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Because only carry big men and just buy one small thing." He told me that in the shop. So this we can give the way we can spend. But we are bamboozled and we are stolen from. They steal from us. They force us. They prostituted tithes and offering. Now we have learned that it is not so. And we give to the poor. We do our almsgiving, and then we do the tithing. But CDSA, if we had been upping our give the poor with that tithe we're giving to them to buy jets, to build edifices, to build massive schools, which plenty of us cannot attend, then we would have added that money to the ones giving to the poor, and probably would have removed some people from poverty, including my own people. If I take it since Boko Haram began in my place, they took my village, they burnt down my husband's family home, where his father grew up, where they were all born, and burnt it down. And people are there, if we are taking that money and put it to building their lives, instead of the little we used, it would have added it to the tithes and offerings. It would have been better for us. That must stop. That prostitution of tithes and offerings, that lie, taking me to, I heard that the priest said, who is Malachi in one of his teachings, taking me back when the Bible says that of all born of women, none is greater than John the Baptist. And we now say that we are greater than that John the Baptist now. All the prophets greater than that. We are greater than John the Baptist. And then you're now telling me that I'm the Levite that is not God. I am not, sir. But I believed for so long. And I'm not the robber. They are the robbers. And then there are widows there. My mom was a widow for some time. And when my mom died, we wanted to start something for her. We just left it aside. But I remember those days when my mom would come visiting us, and when she goes back, we give her money and things to go and give to the fellow widows in her place in Yola then. And one day my mom called me, 1,000 naira I give her to give her fellow women. Because, at some point, I didn't mention that we had to out of my stepfather's house. The suffering, the wahala was too much for that woman. We said, before you kill her, we removed her from there. And that's when we bought her the house. They gave her a cow, put the shop for her and all of that. She phoned me. She said that woman started dancing, called her first daughter and said, take this money. Today we're going to eat chicken in this house. DSA. You will cry when you hear plenty of those kind of things. Now, if I did tithes aside and I was giving to these people more, I would have made a lot of difference, DSA. I would have. I've seen right now in my village, we have people that have been devastated because they've only started returning home. They lack places to stay. They lack clothes to put on, cover. My grandmother, my father's mom, she raised him because he lost his mom too after some time. She raised him, so she's my grandmom. She's there. We try to do what we can do for her, but we could have done more with all of those things. A caller called one of those days and said she had money, but her mother wanted money. She said that one is her. She told her she didn't have money because she didn't know differently. That's how bad they have raped us. DSA, that is another thing that must stop, sir. We need to know the truth so that it can set us free. And like you said in this confidence series, it's not knowing the truth, that you shall know the truth. It's the truth that you know inside of you. The knowing, that is what gives you confidence. With the confidence I have now, I'm telling everybody that not do this thing. I know I've called some people, they have blasted me on phone, and one even said that I've seen the blessings of tithes. Another one, my husband put a post on Facebook. She now says, stop confusing people here. If you've not seen the blessings of tithes, that is up to you. But stop, all kinds of things we hear. We have been so blessed, long before we started paying tithes, we were blessed. I told you my story. I go to Dubai, live at night, go get there in the morning, buy my things, enter the next flight, go to US, go to South Africa, go to Kenya, go to come to UK. Then I was not living here. Go to the US. So he is not a poor man that will be doing all of these things. So it's not the tithes and offering that blessed me. It's God's mercy. What would I do differently for God to bless me? He blesses me irrespective and unconditionally. So they have put down our confidence. You know, you don't have the strength again to think for yourself and to even think that this is wrong or this is right. You know, and is why we must wake up. We must wake up. You tell another thing pastors do, DSA, and it fault in the first place. You tell a pastor that this is my dream, this is my thought. I listen to you. You are not ready. God has given you an idea. You need a man to veto it because he's a pastor, and we're all made kings and priests to reign on the earth. We are equal. I was asking, is it that Jesus shed more pints of blood for them and less for me? Maybe just 1 pint for me and 20 pints for them? That they are more anointed? One pastor said, we're all anointed, but our own is different. I said, that's taking me to judge. Oh, well, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. That is not the policy of God. Only in the Church of Jesus Christ in Nigeria. It must stop, DSA. These are all and the intimidation. Winners, I come to my own church before. The intimidation, DSA, from that church. Because we've got the father that has, one boldness to shout people down. And there's one thing again called curse, where people fear curse. And even now, as we talk to you, we talk to people, and they're like, oh, be careful, curse. I say, did they tear Galatians 13 and 14 out of your own Bible? He has redeemed me, Mark, from the curse of the law. No man will curse me, dear. The curse will not catch cockroach. So when people are still hiding under that, you don't be cursed, so that you not be cursed. That night calls you in their shrines and your witch doctor. It's only Christ that they'll be cursing. Babalawo will curse. In the church, and you're cursing, you're putting fear. The Bible says perfect love casts out fear. What is the role of fear now in the Church of Jesus Christ? The Bible says that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the power of love and of a sound mind. Mayowa likes to use that. Unto freedom we are called. Use your sound mind. So why am I thinking that they will curse me and because I am asking them questions, or because I am leaving, or because I don't agree with those doctrines? These are the things that must stop. You don't threaten anybody. We are children of God. Touch not my anointed, but I am anointed. You pastor, this bishop, that you are anointed. Fine, I am equal anointing. So touch me not. The way you don't want to be touched, that's how I will not be touched. You are saying give to God. Are you not a human being? Why won't you give? You, Pastor Priest, Pastor Bishop, Pastor Gio, why won't you give? Who are you giving to? Why are there beggars by Canaan land entrance? Why are there cripples everywhere? Why are there people hungry around you? Why? Why are there? DSA, I've told you this one day I phoned. When I was still in NAN, Fridays, I used to collect money from my colleagues, give me small contribution, because there are these people living with HIV/AIDS, PLWAs, I was working with one of my sisters again. She works with the Action Aid. We put money together, and then they come to me, to the office, to collect. We give them some money for their weekend, for the week, and all of that. We also do food stuff, clothes, and all of that. Now, all these are church people. This particular woman was told to bring money for her antiretroviral. It's supposed to be free. But government was that they will still find a way of taking something. So she needed 2,000 naira DSA. She did not have. She went to, I traveled to the UK to have my third baby. She went to her home cell. The home cell said, they are not supposed to give money to anyone. She should go to church, to the welfare department. She went, and they prayed for her and anointed her DSC, and she died. Ooh. She needed money for her antiretroviral. She did not need prayer. She died. Yeah. She died. So I cried when I went back, because this is a woman at 2,000 era would have sorted the matter out. Because what she needs that money for, pick your antiretroviral and buy all these pineapples, your fruits, to boost your immunity, not prayer, not anointing oil, DSA.
Is it true?
That is what.
Is it true that they Is it true that the people practice what they call handkerchief or mantle and ribena or
Do you want me to bring? Do you want me to bring out my mantle?
because those things must change too, because you have not mentioned them.
DSA. I have mantles. My children's names are labeled on their own.
No.
The dates that were given the mantle, I write. I'm ashamed to say this now, really, DSA. But practiced all of these things. Yes, DSA. We drink the oil to flush out the impurities inside of us. DSA. We do feet washing. We have turned that scripture of Jesus Christ that is teaching humility and service into doctrine of dominion. You wash your feet for dominion, that your feet will take you to high places. You tread upon the high places of the earth and all of that. We have removed the humility aspect of it. It's recently to understand that those things were just doctrinal, and then we do it as rituals. We have ritualized everything. Handkerchiefs and aprons were taken out of the apostles. Now we carry to coming out of the way. And I sit down someday, I say, with this anger and this process, and I'm collecting mantle now. It's my thoughts after encountering SA. Have I not acquired some courses for myself now from those people and their anger and their other trait and character. And for those that do that, those subtlety like the serpent in the Garden of Eden, those wayo. These are all the things we encounter. So did
you listen to my series on paganism and syncretism, how I dealt with those things?
Oh, yeah, DSA. Oh, yes, DSA. We listened to them like so many times. I shared that video because, and I saw before, I thought it was only in Nigeria until I saw the Bushiri, one man that goes to church like a funeral procession with horses. And what is this? All those evil things they do. I agree with Agneta, it is shrine. The syncretism series, DSA, is a story for 1 year. The paganism in the church. So that is it. It was paganism we're doing. Idolatry, DSA. These are all the things I must stop. Because people will sit down, not even go to hospital because of the mantle and the anointing. But the pastors go to hospitals. Some die in the hospitals.
Wow.
Oh, why? They do. But then they don't tell us the truth. I'm blind following them, DSA. This movement is for so many things. It's a so many faced movement because there's so much wrong. So much wrong. Especially this intimidation. There's another thing we do in my church, DSA. When they give us targets, bring 12 souls, 1 soul every month for the year. It gets to points where a bishop will say that if you don't receive, it is your fault. Because maybe you didn't share enough flyers or you didn't, There was a time a friend of mine, she's trusting the fruit of the womb. She works in the church, she does so much in the church, One day we're doing an online service and we heard, if you don't receive, it's your fault. Because there was one woman that was trusting God, so she had shared flyers and she conceived. So my friend began to cry because she said to me, woman of God, what have I not done? How do you say that to a child of God that is his fault? There's so many things there. Say intimidation, gospel of force, gospel of curse. And here, a pastor told us, a pastor of living faith that was there for many, many years, told us that Bishop Oyedepo calls meeting of pastors to come and curse those that left. Yes. And if for maybe 1 or 2 of them struggled in ministry after they lived there, he now uses them as reference for, because that's to say cause has worked. Forgetting that, of course, they will have to struggle first, because give them the entitlement. You were not paying them well. How would they have had money to start up? Give them time, they will pick up. A lot of them are doing well. The cause cannot catch rats. And let me speak to people listening to us DSA, especially if you're in winners. And the ones who have been phoning that telling us that no, be careful, be careful. And even in our local church here, they've held meeting when we left to say, don't join them or don't talk about Papa. In fact, one of them said that he stands with Oyedepo forever. One said that let God blind his eyes from seeing any fault from Bishop. All kinds of their own new theories and doctrines which has become human worship, and I don't even know what to call things, So I'm addressing my friends, my brothers and my sisters in the system. We have learned a lot from Bishop Oyedepo. We learned plenty things, including Bible and all of that. But free your mind. No curse can come on you because God has redeemed you. Christ has. There's a song in my house. My children quote it, and He has not given you the spirit of fear. Don't fear man. Like I heard one of my teachings one time. She said, "If I go die now, it's win-win for me because if I die, I go to heaven. If they kill me, I go to heaven. If I live, self, I'm okay." So if you even die, it's not even their cause that will kill you. You can die in an accident or anything. We pray for long life because it says long life will satisfy us. But anything is wrong with you because anybody caused you is a lie. The fear that we have how comes upon us. I read that in Job 3. We all know it. So when they put the fear in you and you now take it, that is when things go wrong. Is because you have taught them, you have called them forth, and they have come to pass. It is not anybody's cause. Nobody can curse me. Mark it again. Nobody can curse me. The Bible says, "Come not near them that have the mark." I read that in Ezekiel. And again, in the Revelations, there's a mark upon us. Nobody can touch me or curse me. Even Cain that killed Abel, God marked him and nobody could hurt him. In the Old Testament, how much more me and you, under the new covenant, made under better promises, made by the blood of God, the blood of the Lamb. You cannot be cursed. If you're ready to move on from the church, carry your load and liberate yourself and go. Or read these books, watch this series, join the mentorship program, everything you can do to develop yourself. If you don't want DSA for whatever your reasons are, find other books to read now. Read Malcolm Gladwell, for example. We read him a lot. Learn from people. Don't keep yourself under bondage. Okay. Me, I'm liberated, and I'm still being liberated because I've not even gotten anywhere. But the freedom we have, DSA, the testimonies we received within the short time we have left there is remarkable. There was something my sister was pursuing from the Scottish government. She got it on a black gold. I don't have a permission to say it. That's what I'm not saying. If she gives permission, maybe when required that my husband comes on his own, maybe he can share that. There are so many testimonies. My brother got white collar ivory job that we've been waiting for, trusting God for long. This breakthrough, left, right, and center. Since we left, we now serve God with freedom. And this is liberation. I can't. We pray for you. If I yesterday when one caller called, talking about his encounter, I prayed for you at the battles and all of that. I said, we are praying. I was saying to myself that I don't want to battle this, but every night I pray for DSC. When we wake up, we pray. My small 4-year-old, now when he's praying, he also say, we cover DSA in the blood of Jesus. Because we want you to finish this job.
Amen.
We want you to bring these things out. If not for you, would I have been going to YouTube to look for it? I would not have known. How can Geo say, if you don't pay tithes, you will not go to heaven, full stop? DSA, how? Is that from the Bible? Or from Buddha? Or where? I don't know. DSA, remember the story of Abraham interceding on behalf of Sodom and Gomorrah, yes, saying, God, if you pay 40 people, up to 10 people, God said, if for the sake of 10, I will not destroy the city. Now, God will now destroy congregation because one acre did not pay tithe. I've spoken my language. I'm like, for real?
Macrine, if I'm going to ask you, just like with your husband, I couldn't finish talking with him.
Yes,
I have
sir.
done 2 parts with him already, and I want to do the 3rd one, maybe the 4th one. I want to keep on doing the series with him. But
Yes,
can
sir.
I also give you the same offer so that we can continue? Maybe not at this topic, maybe another, maybe a book, maybe something. But you are so eloquent, and that's why I said you must. In fact, some people are writing now that they cannot wait until you start your live broadcast, that you must be doing the very same thing DSA is doing. They could see you doing it, and they are saying they are looking
Thank
forward
you.
for it, and then
Thank
they are
you.
looking forward to your book as well. So could we invite you back to continue this program?
Sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, DSC. Thank you.
Yes, it has been a wonderful, wonderful session. In the next 30 minutes, we have to come back to continue the series on Chris Oyakhilome and the God of Mammon. But is there any other thing you would like to say before you go?
I'm just honored to be given this opportunity to talk with you because now I'm looking forward to the next step, coming face to face with you when I come for my HMT. But I'm highly honored and I've learned a lot again, even just this evening, and I've been emboldened the more now, and I'll start working on myself more to do these things. And I'm glad for everything I've learned under you, the books, the series, and the more to come. And I'm glad that a lot of people have connected with you and liberation is going on, because all of us on this platform, if only our own members themselves alone are liberated, we have reached nearly half of our population. Thank you, DSC. God
Thank
bless
you,
you,
man.
sir.
Thank you. And greetings to your whole family and to those kids. They tell them they should get ready because we are going to do it. Maybe even
Yes,
from this
thank
week
you.
or next week, we are going to get them already. Thank
Yes,
you. I'll see you in the evening.
thank you, DSC. Yes,
Blessings.
bye.
In 30
Bye.
minutes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.